Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the midweek update. Let's jump right in. We've got a lot of stuff to go over today. We're going to start off with the Dow daily chart. We had a big sell-off today. I've been talking that this was coming, and it's probably going to end up being a worse sell-off, not saying tomorrow, the rest of the week, but as we go forward, as reality hits the crazy perception of a V recovery that they've been trying to sell us in Washington because we've got an election coming up. This is the Dow 1 hour chart that I set up on Friday, and you can see we broke down here. But if we flip over to the daily chart, I had to tweak the uptrend line a little bit, but you can see we've broken down below it. Where you will probably see the robots go crazy on the sell side is if we break this 25K mark here. That's around 25,000. We do have RSI dipping back under the 50 level, and something I mentioned on the weekend video, you can see here, every time we have a red day, it's more than the green days. That's distribution. That is a negative thing for large caps. Now, if you see down here on stochastic, you can see we went up to the 50 level and now we're going down. This is similar to what happened back here when the market tried to bounce after that initial sell-off in March. Stochastics is looking exactly the same right now, and I've been saying that we were going to see another big downtrend here. What's driving this market lower, we talked about 2 weeks ago. When Kudlow came out and said everything was fine, that is why I had us pivot and start focusing on the COVID-19 stocks, because anything that comes out of the mouth of these guys, they said the same thing back in February and March before the implosion, and here we are yet again with the same thing looking to happen again. We have a big economic issue out there. We are number one for COVID tests. Hey, great. But we're also number one for the number of COVID sickness, number one for deaths, we're number one for unemployment, and this is the USA. I don't know what else to say. This is remarkable how bad this handling has been. We now have states all starting to finally require people to wear masks, but that's after everything's blown up. I mean, essentially what has happened, us going into quarantine for 2 months has essentially gotten wasted by all these people who refuse to wear masks. And now we're starting to mandate that they wear masks because everyone's starting to get sick. A little bit too late, but hopefully it's going to happen. But that is not going to bode well for any kind of industry out there. I mean, we've got states now putting 2-week quarantines on anyone coming from a hotspot. That's going to hammer any kind of recovery that we were going to have in some of these travel stocks right now. But as for the market, you know, when the large caps sell off, the small caps rock. And as we have done over the last few days, we pivoted to the COVID-19 stocks. DSS, this is the chart I posted for you guys this weekend. This was the 1 hour chart. And I told you how, you know, we did that very small offering, but the stock held support fantastic. And since that time, we ended up hitting 950 on the intraday high here today. From that 758 level, you know, what's that? A 30% easy gain on that swing. If we look at the daily chart here, this is setting up perfect. Now, I talked about how all the moving averages were converging around this 850 level. Now, we did break above that level on very good volume today, but then we came back down. But RSI looks fantastic. MACD is still turning up, and stochastics looks ready to rock and roll. Now, the thing with DSS, we haven't gotten that mega volume yet, that 10 million volume day, which is probably what's going to launch this stock. Now, the reason for that, they had fantastic news on their COVID-19 drug today. The problem is the merger has not been completed yet, so most people don't know that DSS is buying a COVID-19 drug that has lots of good news. That merger of that company, their approval is tomorrow. Well, it's Friday Singapore time, which is tomorrow. I don't know. The clock is 25 hours ahead or something like that. But in the next couple of days, probably Monday, we should get a press release on that. And that will really light this one up. Now, these guys got a price target today of $14 from Aegis Capital. They're probably looking at this chart here. This swing looks great as the COVID-19 stocks really wake up. COCP, looking great. Now, I'm not going to go over all that research that I post today, just go and look at it in the alert room. But this thing is locked and loaded. The chart looks great. We briefly broke above that 154 level, but they smacked it back down again. We are just waiting on that press release, and this chart is just set up across the board. The indicators look great. If these guys get smart and drop that press release, especially the one I talked about with that speculation that perhaps it could be Merck, given all the research links I posted, they're going to be chasing this one like no other. Biak was a big winner for us last week. 100% mover. Came all the way right back down to that uptrend line. Testing stocks are going crazy. We had a couple go up big today, and none of them have partnerships with Thermo Fisher. This chart looks great. And like I said repeatedly in the room, 75 cents is where guys will start to look at it, and 95 cents is where they'll buy it. Just like when we played it a week ago. They didn't want to buy it down here. They didn't want to buy it here, but up here, all in is what they were posting on Twitter. So we got a MACD cross here today on this 1 hour chart. Stochastics look great. This stock looks to rock and roll near term. Bingo bongo. Another COVID-19 play. What can I say? All these charts look identical. You know why? Because they all came down at the same time. They all hit their support lines here. Target remains the 200-day moving average. That's at 80 cents. We've got RSI doing that little uptick there. Look at this. Stochastics in the basement. We like seeing that. The last period where we saw stochastics in the basement and then turn up was right when this stock sold off and bottomed out in April, coinciding with all the selling that happened in the market back then. Looking great into the next week. CHFS. Now, we're starting to hear about all the hospitals in these hotspots running out of bed capacity. You're going to start to hear about the ventilator issue. These guys, as we know, fluid maintenance, COVID-19, they've got it all over their press releases. Again, a very nice uptrend line here. This one looks great. Look at the stochastics indicator here. You can go over in the chart. Each time it's done this, the stock has spiked. We got a big spike here. We got a big spike here. Next time, let's take us up to that 60-cent level. Quick mention on DXLG. This is our mask play. Caesars became the latest company to say, if you want to come into our place, you got to wear a mask. You would think in this day and age, people would be considerate enough of other people to wear a mask, but somehow wearing a mask has become a political thing. I'm not going to get into it anymore, but finally, these companies and states are starting to smack these dumbasses down and tell them, wear a mask, stop the spread. DXLG, hopefully these guys will get off their butt and actually issue a press release telling us that they do sell masks instead of just letting it sit in a conference call transcripts where only people like me who actually do research find these things. Come on, guys, wake up, issue a press release, blow this stock up already. EDNT, quick mention, this is another one of these mass personal protective equipment plays. Finally starting to get woke up here. We see a lot of up and down action here. This is a heavily shorted stock, and this kind of action, when you see it right here, these are the shorts trying to lose this battle. Eventually, they will throw the towel in, probably on a nice press release, but as you can see, the indicators look really good here for a near-term move. I know I'm going through these quick, but I didn't want this to be a 20-minute video just because we have so many stocks today. FRSX. This is the chart I gave you guys this weekend, and lo and behold, big pop there on Monday. Let's look at an updated chart here right now. Again, these guys have news coming. Oh my goodness, when they drop this news, it's going to be fun to the upside. We're probably going to look back and go, why did we not buy more? So we're just sitting and waiting again for a press release. Now, speaking of press releases, I can't not talk about GHSI if I'm not talking about press releases. You know, part of the problem with small cap stocks is the guys who run investor relations, most of the time they're journalism major dropouts. They don't know what they're doing. These companies don't do press releases for themselves. They let people find it out on their own. Now, that's a benefit for us because we actually do research versus chasing scanners. But, oh my goodness, Gishi, throw out some press releases already. Your chart is locked and loaded here for a move to 70 cents. Give us that news. Come on, wake up. Look at stochastics here. I mean, the indicators, the chart, everything is ready for a move. HTGM, same thing. They were at a conference today. We know they do COVID-19 research. Issue the press release. It's only in your conference call transcripts. The good thing, again, when they finally do issue the press releases, you're going to see all these guys on Twitter going, wow, who knew? I bought this on my scanner. Look, they do COVID-19 research. So sometimes it's a patience play. We buy these intraday dips on these stocks and we wait for the big moves. Now, put my Lambo in the video on Sunday, but I figured I needed some models for today's video so that I can look like all the other guys. So here's today's model. It's a car and it's a model. Model T. There you go, guys. So here's my video with a model in it today. Have a great weekend. Weekend? What am I saying? It's midweek. Feels like it's the weekend already. It's been a crazy market, but red days like this are great, especially when we have sector momentum like we have. The large caps bleed, the money rotates to the hot things. We're playing COVID-19 stocks every day from now on. And when we have up days in the market, the spin is going to be that the economy's okay. And on those days, we play COVID-19 stocks and we play the retail stocks. So the best of both worlds right now. So that's it for the video. Please subscribe if you haven't. Actually, I've made it so you actually have to subscribe to see these videos now. Click if you like it, and if you're not in my chat room, you'll see the link down below on how to get into my free chat room. So have a great night. See you guys all in the chat room tomorrow. Bye.